Hey guys, this is the Loudmouth here. Loudmouth presents Off the Top Rope. It's a little bit different than what we're normally doing. Normally, we would interview one person and we'd discuss their wrestling history and things like that. What we did was a little bit different because on the 29th of May today, I got to go to a reunion show of sorts. We got all the old guys, all the old school wrestlers together. Guys like Manny DeFero, guys like AW Bulldog, guys like Tornado, and all the other legends that were there to talk about the old times, to get the guys together that haven't seen each other for a while. There's been a few deaths in South African professional wrestling, so get the guys together because there seems to be a gap with regards to the old school guys and the new school guys. So they organized this reunion get together, and man, what a humbling experience it was. There were some things that I saw, and some things I totally against. We'll deal with the against stuff a little bit later. But man, I got to meet Manny DeFero, which I watched him wrestling growing up as a kid, and it was an honor to meet him. And man, what an eye-opening experience! And I'm going to reach out to him and get him on the show because you guys definitely need to hear what he has to say. And I heard some things, man, that I thought had happened, but didn't happen. And then, like I say, I saw some things that man, I was totally against. Because I believe that this show wasn't about if you wrestle for All Star Wrestlings or if you wrestle for CPW, if you wrestle for Jackie Kun, or you wrestle for whoever it may be, Sammy Cohen or Paul Lloyd or whatever it was. It was just an opportunity for the guys, the old school guys, to get together and just touch base and reminisce and things like that. And something came up, man. I was not happy with, because to politicize events like this, whether it be intentional or unintentional, is just, as far as I'm concerned, it's not. But that'll be discussed in a later video. I'm loath to discuss it, but it will be discussed. So I took some video there of some of the older school guys. There was some guys that I didn't get a chance to speak to, like AW Bulldog. I would have liked to have sat down with him for a few minutes. We'll try get him on off the top rope. Manny DeFera as well. Man, I got a little snippet here, but I ended up talking to him, and my wife ended up talking to him for a long time. And man, it's a really eye-opening experience to have somebody of that caliber wanting to give so much back to the business, and being able to talk to the youngsters and things like that. And we will get a chance to speak to him definitely. Mano Singh was another one. I only met him today, but I was very humbled by the fact that he knew who I was, and he had saw some of my stuff and things like that. You must remember that a lot of my, especially my earlier career, um, I was very skeptical to record my matches, and it took a while for me to start getting into the habit of recording my matches. I felt that because I was a bigger guy, I was always um, not worried, but I was always afraid my work was never good enough, and I'd always be scrutinized as such because I was a big guy. And a lot of that still carries over. Skull is a great wrestler, was a big guy, but he was a brawler. There's Visser coming up now, who's a big guy, who's getting a lot of respect for what he does in the ring. And sometimes I look at it and I go, yeah, that's a little unfair, because as well as Visser's been trained in things like that, um, still being a big guy, I believe I can do better at that with more experience. And when Visser gets more experience, he will get better. And I believe that one day when they look back at the big guys of professional wrestling, they will see him as a big part of that. Um, one thing that well, there was two things that amazed me. The one was that a lot of the old school guys watch Off the Top Rope, and I'm very humbled by that, because it means I'm doing something right. And I'm very, very honored and very grateful and very humbled that the fact that a lot of guys were like, we watch Off the Top Rope, you're doing great work and things like that. And for those guys, I want to say thank you very much for your support. I started this off not expecting much because my wife had put the seeds in my head and been wanting me to do it. And Ananzi mentioned it, and Mark mentioned it. And when I started off, I had very low expectations of Off the Top Rope. Now when I do it, I've got very high expectations. Got high. I always, I always, always place high expectations on myself because um, in my mind, it's perfection is unobtainable if you do not strive for it. So I strive to do things better than I did the last time I did them. And sometimes it works and sometimes not. But I always strive to do the best that I can. And if I can improve 1% on everything that I've done, at the end of the year, I would have improved 365%. And that's important for me because I try and do the best. Because in the beginning, I wasn't given much of a chance. And I wasn't given a lot of hope, and a lot of people turned around and said to me, "You're not going to make it in this business." And a lot of guys who said that are no longer in this business, or are trying to hut crepe for position, and they're trying to jockey themselves. They're trying to position themselves high up on the cards. I've never kissed ass. I'm not an ass kisser. I don't do politics. That's not me. But I do things that benefit me and that benefit the people that I want in my inner circle. At the moment, that's Mark Beal and that's CPW. Will I work for anybody else? If anybody else wants me to work for them, by all means, speak to Mark. I will work for anybody. There's one person I won't work for. He knows who he is. That's a non-negotiable. I will not do it. But when I try and do things, I try and do things that will not only make me look good, but will make everybody else look good in the process. And sometimes I achieve it, and sometimes I don't. I'm human. These things happen. But today was a very humbling experience for me as a professional wrestler, because I realized that I'm in a position where I've got people who are experienced that are coming up to me and say, "Hey, listen here, Don. Listen here, loudmouth. You're doing good things. You're doing good things. I'd love to give you a bit of advice. I'd love to be on your show. We'd like to talk about it and things like that." That's a very humbling experience because these are the guys that I grew up watching and idolizing in South African professional wrestling. For them to come around and say to me, "You're doing good," it kind of validates everything. And like I say, it was an awesome event. There was some gentlemen, like I say, I didn't introduce myself to. I didn't introduce to myself to, and I felt I do feel bad about it. Because as a professional wrestler, and this is a tip for the youngsters, if there's somebody that's more experienced with you, you introduce yourself. You hold out your hand, you shake your hand, meet them face to face, eye to eye. You introduce yourself, make yourself known. I didn't do that for some of the gentlemen, and for some of the gentlemen there, I do apologize. I will make amends for that. And man, it was just great watching the camaraderie of people in the old school, even if they worked for different companies or they were in Johannesburg or Nelspruit or Durban or PE or Cape Town. It's nice watching that camaraderie and them talking about the old school and things like that. Guys, especially new guys, especially the fans, if there's an old school guy and he wants to impart your knowledge, listen. They've been through things. The guys have been through things that I wouldn't have been through yet in my career. And I've been wrestling for 14 years. So when you got a chance to listen to them, listen. Shut up. Close your mouth. Open your ears and your eyes, because you'll learn something. Enjoy the videos.
English because I think some of the guys do not understand Frans. Thank you, Donovan, for filming me. I hope I look gorgeous.
No, you don't. Sorry.
Okay, net weer eens allemaal bye-bye. Dankie aan al die steers. Joe en Jaco, thanks ouens, julle het 'n moeilike job gedoen. So you've put a lot of effort into it, and to get all the guys together is not always very possible. And the guys that comes from Bram, jy weet jy kom van ver af. Boertjie en ek aan my hoek, maar hy is laaste hierso. Laaste. Maar weer eens dankie ons, is 'n regtig groot voorreg om almal hier te hê en dis iets wat ons al 'n rukkie aan werk. En ek dink net die kamaradie tussen die manne, weet dit is regtig awesome. Thank you very much, guys. It really is a pleasure for me having you guys here. So, and I hope you guys can enjoy the day. And next year, I want to do this on a yearly thing. Not only me, we get everybody involved. You know, it's not my project, or Jaco's project, or Joe's project, or whoever's. It's all of us. You know, we do this because we love the game, we love wrestling, and that's what it's all about. I think it's going to be appropriate. Kobus, kan jy vir ons die oopgemaak word? Miskien moet ons sê. Vir ons net 'n paar woordjies sê asseblief vir maat. Kobus. Hy's gonna give.
Yes, reg, baie dankie. Hi, goeiemiddag almal. Ja, ek dink Steve het meeste van die goed gekover. Baie dankie almal vir almal se kameraadskap. Dit is 'n visie wat ons al 'n hele geruime tydjie het. En hierdie is 'n bietjie groter as verlede jaar, so ek is bly om te sien hoe dit groei. Dis awesome. So bly om julle ouens om te sien. Dis so lekker. Julle almal het 'n deel in my lewe gehad. Julle almal was hierdie steers en uit opgekyk na julle. Nou is ek ouer, maar nou is die klein laities weer hierso. So dis so awesome hoe die sirkel aangaan. Ja, van my kant af, ons gaan definitief hierdie ding groter maak. Ek het baie mooi gesit en gedink en beplanning gedoen. Ons gaan volgende jaar gaan ons ook begin 'n Hall of Fame begin doen, 'n introduction. Wat ons sal host, maar dit gaan niks vir die reunie wees nie, dit gaan apart van die reunie wees. So die reunie gaan 'n kuier wees en dan gaan ons 'n whole introduction ding doen, wat heeltemal 'n hele event gaan wees. Dit is soos 'n matriekafskeid, mooi aantrek en al hierdie goedjies, lekker kuier en dan ook 'n stoei show die volgende aand. Maar ja, ons los dit vir reëlings vir volgende jaar vanaand. Julle moet dit geniet en baie dankie is. Ek dink ons net vir Gerry van SNPW verwelkom dat hy ook ietsie sê daarso.
Gerry, don't stutter.
Guys, baie dankie. Net van my kant af van SNPW. Baie dankie vir die geleentheid. Dit is awesome om hier te wees vanmiddag en om tyd saam met al die legendes te spandeer. En dankie vir die tyd wat julle opgeoffer het. Dankie vir Joe, Jaco, wat hierdie geleentheid by mekaar gesit het. Geniet die middag van my en die span af. Blessings en geniet dit. Baie dankie.
Colin.
He's the representative from CPW. Now he's busy opening his phone, so he's got sorry, I think he's got notes here. He didn't have. Guys and girls, our visitors, it's a humbling honor for me to be here today, not just to represent CPW, but to represent wrestling. I'm talking about pro wrestling, and I'm going to keep it short and simple. Is it? Can you believe that I'm jibbery? I'm going to keep it short and simple. In the sense that I think I'd like to open up this meeting with a prayer. Onze Vader, wie se blywende liefde ons wêreld onderhou deur genade. Bedank ek U vir die voorreg dat ek elkeen hier kan verwelkom wat met blye harte bymekaar gekom het om ons gedeelde geskiedenis in Suid-Afrika te vier. in groot dankbaarheid wat deur die jare strek. Onthou ons die sterk bande, vriendskappe en broederskap, manne, broederskap wat in hierdie stoeigemeenskap gebou is. Ons bedank die toegewyde lewens van alle promoters, stoeiers, afrigters, mentors, vriende en familie, wie se vrygewigheid ons gekweek het, toe ons nog gegroei het. Selfs as ons vandag weer ons ou vriendskappe aanwakker, dink ons aan die baie stoeiers en gesinne, wat nie meer by ons op aarde is nie. Daar's baie. Ons dink aan Dani, ons dink aan Spekkies, ons dink aan Brits, en daar's Skal, maar wie nog, Steven? Jimmy, en die ander wat, jy weet, ek is nie iemand vir baie sien op die agterdag, maar guys, you got me, today you got me. Ons bedank u vir hul lewens, en bid vir diegene wat hul verlies bedroef, dat hulle vrede en vertroosting kan hê. Mag ons tyd saam vreugdevol wees, as ons herinnering en verhale deel, van die vorige tye, wat ons tydens ons stoei, ryke kan onthou. Gee ons al die genade, om ons foute uit die verlede te herken. Ons foute, manne, sodat ons vergewensgesinde harte kan hê. Mag ons persoonlike reunies vandag gevorm word deur vriendelikheid en gelag. En mag die verhale wat vandag vertel word, oorvertel word, vreugde en goeie wil meebring. Ons dankie vir die kos wat ons vandag gaan deel en geniet, vir die hande wat ons oes, wat vir ons geoes is, vervoer, voorberei en bedien moet word. En as ons hierdie ete geniet, kan ons vierdenke heildronken wees, ter ere en dank van diegene wat meer as 20 of 25 jaar gelede aan ons lewens aan die Suid-Afrikaanse stoeibedryf deelgeneem het. Seën hierdie reuniteit. Mag hierdie oomblikke saam daartoe lei dat ons elke maat van ons harte en elke nuwe dag wat ons bring meer en meer waardeer. In die hoop op God sê ons baie dankie. Guys, thank you very much.
As well. Just keep saying before they speak. So I said to her, that's what I said. I told my wife I'm not drinking.
Okay, we're sitting here with the Cowboy, also WWP wrestler Cobra. Are you currently in the toughest battle of your life?
Well, loud enough, yes. Do you want me to tell you?
Yes, we want you to expound, my man.
Okay.
Talk about it.
I've got pancreas cancer. I'm still okay, and I'm positive that I'm going to survive it. It's going to be another 3 days, then I'm going to know what's going to happen, if they're going to operate me, if they're going to cut me, or whatever they want to do.
Yep.
But I believe I'll survive, because it's like wrestling. You can survive anything.
Here you go.
I've wrestled you, and I've survived that, so if I survive that, why not?
Yeah. If there was one thing that you could change in your wrestling career, what would it be?
What would it be?
Yeah.
I would have liked to I can't tell you exactly what I would change. There's a lot of stuff that I would like to change, but it's small stuff that I don't want to talk about. But I would have liked to have a better image on TV. How can I say that?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And is the call at Princess Crossing where you gave Crow the shoulder breaker and I went wah wah wee wah the best wrestling call you ever heard of in your life?
That was the best thing ever, and no, that whole match, when you call that whole match, it was, this is old school. Now you've done this, you do that. It was the best calls I've ever had in wrestling, and it made me feel old when I was doing it, but old school is sometimes good school.
Here we go. Well, the Cowboy, we wish you the best of luck, my man. We hope you get healthy soon, and we'd like to see you back in the ring very, very shortly.
I'll survive, don't you worry.
Jacques. So one of the hardcore legends. Talk about the match in Harry Smith with Skull. The first one where you guys set each other on fire.
Skull was one of those guys. If you go to the ground, how can I say it? You need to go to the ground with it. I mean, you have to take all elements out. First of all, was fire, thumbtacks, barbed wire, fluorescent tubing, staple guns, glasses. That was the top of matches we did.
Yeah.
And still today, he's one of the guys that I respect, and I will love to do a match.
7,000 screaming barkers all baying for blood. Show us the hand with the glass.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, that one there. What happened?
Fluorescent tubing. As soon as I hit him, it cut me open. So it took me back.
Is that one of the things where you look back and you go, maybe I shouldn't have done that?
No, I'll still do it today again. I mean, with Skull was a hero that either go full out or you stay behind. And I think with Skull I had to do it, and then I will do it again.
Do you still have the chainsaw?
I do have it.
Does it actually work? Does it have the chain in it, or have you still taken the chain out?
You know what? Now and then I clean the carburetor just to get the fuel going again.
Well, Jacques, we appreciate your commitment and what you've done for professional wrestling. Thank you very much.
Thanks, eh?
All right, the trash man, Joe Stain. Joe, you've known for the hard hitting style of professional wrestling. Who was the one guy that you enjoyed hitting harder than anybody else?
I like to bully Andre and Benny Wagner. That's the guys I like to bully, and I really bullied them.
Yeah,
that was my game.
Well,
I had to bully them.
The trash game, the trash man gimmick was very unique in South Africa. How did you come up with that?
I was a prelim. I was putting up the ring in Vereniging for All Stars, and after the show, I had to take down the ring. And I took down the ring, put it on the trailer and everything, and then I took a dustbin and cleaned the hall. And the promoter came out, Paul Lloyd, and he says, "Your name is the Trash Man," and from there it's there, and that's the Trash Man. Yeah.
Sometimes, guys, the simplest gimmicks are the best gimmicks. Truly. And out of all the matches that you wrestled, who was the one opponent that you loved wrestling more than anybody else?
Gypsy.
Gypsy,
he was excellent. He knew everything. He worked with you, and if you had him in a grip, you knew how to get out, in, out. He worked you brilliant.
That's it.
He's a brilliant wrestler himself, Gypsy.
And out of all of the guys, who was the one guy that you never wrestled that you thought, missed an opportunity there?
Gladiator, that passed.
Yeah.
I never had the opportunity. I wrestled in a tag team at Sun City for SmackDown for Sean Kuhn. I wrestled against them. They won us. They took the titles.
Okay.
But I wanted a one-on-one with him because he was also a hardcore man. Also.
Now I heard that you had one of the hardest chops in South African wrestling. Can you just put up your hand there and show people how you would? Now look at the size of that paw. Imagine that thing coming down and chopping you on the chest. Is that one of the things you really enjoyed?
Yeah, that was the best. Where you put the man in the corner and you chop him. And he closes so up, then you open him nice, put another one.
Yeah,
then you see your handprint is coming out. That's the one.
Man, Joe Steyn, we'd like to thank you very much for your contribution to South African professional wrestling. We'd like to thank you for helping put on this the memorial show and this reunion show, man. We really do appreciate you. Thank you very much for your time.
It's a pleasure. Thanks very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Uncle Steve, a proper legend of South African wrestling. Is with all that's happened with Donnie Brits and Furgus and Jimmy Abbott and things like this, how is it seeing some of the old school guys?
Donovan, yes, it's awesome today, having all the old guys here that's still around with us, and I'm actually getting goosebumps just thinking everybody's here together. The whole, I'll say most of the South African guys are here today, so which is quite awesome. We're missing the Cape Town guys and Eastern Cape guys, but overall I think it's a huge success with our 60 wrestlers here today.
Okay, and you've had a long and storied career using multiple moonsaults on most of these guys here. Is there one that you particularly enjoy doing more than hitting on an opponent more than others?
I think Steve Eden. I think he deserved the most of it because I had to give him 3 in one match. So, but he kicked out every time. But the last time, that's was 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Now, out of all the matches that you've had, nationally and internationally, is there one match where you could put in a bubble and when people ask what is the representation of Tornado in professional wrestling, you show them that one match?
I think when I wrestled in Saudi Arabia, when I wrestled against Tatanka from the former WWF days, which I wrestled as my alter ego Scorpion, we did about an hour match, and I think that was one of my best matches ever. So competing with guys of his stature, and the enormous I'm gonna say experience I got from that guy, it was such an honor.
Right. And with all the new guys coming into professional wrestling in South Africa at the moment, what's the one piece of advice that you could give them?
Guys, stay humble. Never think you're bigger than a game. The game is always bigger than you are. And stay humble. Respect the elder guys, because obviously they paved the way. I was there as well. I was young once, and also think, I was a shit. Sorry to say that, but be down to the ground. Listen to the guys. Listen to the older guys. They've been there already. They've paved the way, and just follow their advice.
All right. Okay. And one last question. Out of all the guys here, is there one guy that you never wrestled that you had the chance to wrestle and say, hey, listen, I missed out on an opportunity on that?
I would like to wrestle Anansi. That's one guy. We've never wrestled each other, and Anansi.
What?
Anansi.
Seriously?
Never wrestled against Anansi.
Wow, man. That is... Seriously?
Seriously, I've never wrestled Anansi.
Holy shit. That... Guys, listen here. That is a match that people need to book. I don't care what federation you're in South Africa. Book that match. Book it. Right, Uncle Steve, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate you, and we appreciate the contributions that you've given us to South African wrestling.
Thanks, Donovan. Pleasure, my brother.
Anansi, now I've just interviewed Tornado. Is it true that you and him have never had a one-on-one match?
No, it's false.
No, here he is here.
No. We had one in Durban, and that was a tag match. Sorry, he's right. We had a tag match, and that was it. And he dislocated his shoulder on that of it. But yes, we never ever had a one-on-one singles match. That's correct. Were you scared?
So seriously, never a one-on-one match?
Never ever.
Match in the making.
No, I'm telling you now. I called it once again. I'm calling it now. There's got to be a one-on-one match. This man practically trained you.
Yeah, correct. That's it. I was a small boy, and I was watching it at Portuguese when the top rope. So it was actually my childhood favor. One of them, I had 3. It was one of them, and it was my big motivation starting in South Africa, the wrestling, and doing what I'm doing right now.
Okay, and
I'm sure you can see with all my tassels and all my arm
no. Show the tassels on the wrist there, and that one there. You see the reason why he never wrestled you is because he makes too much money.
I wrestle from off field. What is it?
Kobus, seriously now. Now you've got you wrestled Nups in a cage match. You wrestled Steve in a triple threat match at Wrestle Monster, but never in a singles match.
Never ever. Not a singles match.
Man alive. That is so weird considering how long you guys have been in the industry together and how many times your paths have crossed and things like that. Man, that is so weird.
It's actually strange. In the beginning, it worked out like this. That Steven, we were working for him, and then he was running the territory at that stage, and I was a young guy up and coming, and he was organizing the whole show. He was in charge of the show, and I was one of the heels, wrestling Skull back then. And he was basically in charge of it. And then things changed again. He moved away, and then I was running the show. But we never ever had that opportunity doing the shows, hosting the shows where we could work one another. You know, and when the bigger leagues like the CPW, WP back in the days, when they hosted it. It was kind of like we were both booked in a he had a WP World Championship, myself had a Commonwealth title or the All African title, so we were always right next to each other, but just the one match before the other.
Yeah.
It was always the main event.
Man, that is strange. That is really strange.
But I think it's time. I do think
it's time. Just before Uncle Steve gets too old to keep up with you.
Well, I must tell you something. Thursday night, he came to Joburg and visited us there at the training facility, and we had the opportunity to work each other just for about 5 minutes or so. He's actually showing one drill to the younger guys, man. He's so smooth. He still has it, man. I don't think he's going to retire soon. Yeah, flip, but it's
Kan ons net met maak, ons met partner af. Ja, alles nog. Wat serieus?
Wat gaan julle doen? Wat gaan julle doen?
Ek moet vir 'n slag wen asseblief.
Yes.
Is
Jack. No, let's go for it.
Anansi, now you're not wrestling Tornado. Is this one of the matches where you could say, man, this is an opportunity lost that you never got to wrestle Tornado, or is there somebody else that you'd say, nah, I'll put it above Tornado?
No, definitely. This will be one of my main titles that I will definitely want to do. It'll be a great honor, first of all. No. We just have to do this. It was a big loss. Coming to think of it now, I've never thought of it that way, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I always want to be so arrogant to say that if we had to go one another, what was left for the rest of the card on that day? With all due respect. So, the promoters knew what they were doing by splitting us.
Yeah.
But I think that will be good, and I think it'll draw some money, and I'm sure it'll draw some people.
There we go. There we go, guys. There we go. Two legends of South African professional wrestling and the Boerseun. Uncle Terry.
Over 50, everything goes down.
That's why they made Viagra.
Via what?
we had the reunion.
Yeah.
Is it good seeing the boys again?
Yeah, an amazing feeling to see old Manny De Ferro, Colin Sillier, Majive, Geronimo, amazing. Gamma Singh from Durban, the promoter, amazing. Yeah, good souvenir. We wish that Focus, Brits, Jimmy Abbott would be here, but yeah, unfortunately they have passed. But yeah, we are in their memories, for their memories, and it's great to have all the old wrestlers and the new ones, including you and the great and on behalf of the older wrestlers, I would and Raj, I would say, great party. Thank you very much, guys. Amazing.
I've been asking around. There's a few guys that speak very highly of somebody that's passed a while ago, and that's Scorpion Kruger.
Oh yeah.
Guys, it's mentioned. It's not mentioned often because he died quite a while ago. But seeing his daughter here and seeing the old guys talk so highly of Specky's, and you being his tag team partner, does it make you proud that you were a part of such a tight group of professional wrestlers?
Wow, no lies. Then have a look. If you could zoom, goosebump. Yeah, me and Specky's old Sunny Surf. Amazing. He was an amazing guy. In fact, this year, July, will be 4 years that he has passed. It's unbelievable how time goes. But 4 years is a long time, and I miss him a lot. Yeah, we were great partners, good friends, and yeah, good memories.
Was he your favorite tag team partner?
Oh no, I've had many others, but yeah, Specky's one was a special one. Yeah, let's put it that way.
Okay. For guys who don't know, Terry and Specky's Scorpion Kruger had this thing where I think it was Terry would spit and then Specky's would catch the spit in his mouth. Whose idea was that?
It was my idea.
And he went along with it.
He loved it. A spit for a spit.
Oh, it's so fucking gross. I don't know how you guys did it. But Terry, you know, it's great to see you here. We speak very highly of you. Everybody speaks very highly of you. And you are definitely a South African legend. We thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We're speaking to one of the coal miners, Yaku. Yaku, you're one of the organizers of this event. How important was it to have this event here to honor the old school, shall we say, in professional wrestling?
You know, it's very important. The problem is that we live past each other.
Yeah.
We've lost a few great wrestlers, Donnie Focus, Donnie Brits, Specky's, Jimmy Abbott, and you know, it's like you don't see them in ages, and you don't. There's a problem because the people staying apart from each other. You've got people from Cape Town, you've got people from Durban, you've got people from Natal, you know, all that. And the problem is we haven't got the time always to get together. And another thing also is you get to an age where you can't wrestle anymore.
Yeah.
And then that is where the reunion comes in, so we can see each other. You can see your friends and your brothers so yeah, that's for me it's very important, and that's why we arrange everything.
Yeah. And in terms of the turnout here, are you glad that so many guys have come together?
Yes, you know what, I'm very surprised with the amount of people that pitched up. A year ago we also had another reunion, and only a few guys went down to Stephen's place.
Yeah.
And that was actually shocking to see that the people it feels like they're not determined to do this, and so we took another chance and we thought, okay, let's try give it another chance.
Yeah.
And we did. At the beginning I was taking down all the names, and if you're going to have a look at it, there was something like 108 people, and I think, if I calculated right, 70 of them pitched up, which means 70% of the wrestlers is here with their family, you know, so which is great.
Yeah. And in terms of the memories that it brings up for you personally, to see some of the older guys that were in here and some of the guys that you've wrestled time and time again, does that give you a motivation to maybe step back into the ring and get fit again?
Yes, for sure. I've already made matches, or made matches.
Yeah.
I'm challenging Ananzi for a strap match.
Okay.
I'm challenging Steve Eden for a last man standing match.
Right, okay.
And Bushian, my old enemy, I want him to take me on in a Counts Fall Everywhere match.
Right.
I know he's also old and he's also battling, but I don't care. I'm old and I also do that. And Steve Eden and Anansi must be careful.
There we go.
Dynamites, old packet of dynamite still explode. So the young and the youngsters, although they also they started after me. The youngsters, and I know they're more fit than me, but I never back out of a fight.
There we go. And obviously, you'd want to try and make this a yearly event where we're getting together.
Yes, what we want to do is we want to move around also. We want to go down to Cape Town and give the people in Cape Town also opportunity. We sit with the Van der Westhuizen brothers, big legends.
Yeah.
But the problem for them to come down for a weekend, it costs money.
Yeah.
So we also want to go down. We also want to give them a chance to hold the reunion there. If they want us to help from this side, we'll help from this side, and we'll make a plan to get there.
Sure.
And we want to take everybody from from Joburg or wherever down to Cape Town and go to Cape Town. We want to go to Cape Town next year. So this is the plan, to go down there and have a reunion there. Unfortunately, if we're going down there, it will be like they will have their women there or their wives there, and we will leave their wives here because to travel with the woman, it's expensive.
There we go. Yaku, thank you very much for putting this on. We appreciate the groundwork that you've laid for us for the professional wrestlers that are getting into the ring now. Anything you want to say to the youngsters getting into the ring?
Yes, listen to the people that's busy training you. Don't think you're better than them. Doesn't matter if you're a high flyer. And please, people, bring basic wrestling back.
There we go.
Stop all this nonsense of stuff. Stop copying the people from America. This is South Africa. We must build our own way of wrestling and bring the old wrestling back.
There we go.
Bring the Jan Wilkins back. The way that they were wrestling. Don't carry on that. Yes, we need the high flyers, but we can't have everybody doing high flying. Who's going to do the basic wrestling on the floor?
Great. Yaku, thank you very much. We appreciate everything that you've done. We're all enjoying the reunion. Thank you very much, sir.
Same to you. Thanks.